Ever wondered how we as Homo sapiens came to rule the world? Our story begins in the heart of Africa, around 300,000 years ago. Back then, the land was a cradle of life, teeming with diverse species, many of which have long since vanished from the face of the earth. But amidst this cacophony of life, one species began to stand out: our ancestors, the Homo sapiens. These early Homo sapiens were not the first hominids to walk the earth, far from it. They were preceded by many others, each with their own unique traits and capabilities. But it was the Homo sapiens who were destined to change the world. What set them apart was not just their physical attributes, but their cognitive capabilities, the ability to think, to reason, to create. These were the tools that would help them survive, thrive, and ultimately dominate. The Homo sapiens were a product of their environment, shaped by the harsh realities of life in Africa. They had to contend with predators, scarcity of resources, and a constantly changing climate. But these challenges only served to hone their survival skills. They learned to adapt, to innovate, and to work together. And as they did so, they began to develop the first inklings of culture, a shared set of beliefs, practices, and behaviors that would become the foundation of human society. But what truly set the Homo sapiens apart from their hominid cousins was their capacity for language. This ability to communicate complex ideas, to share knowledge, and to forge deep social bonds was a game changer. It allowed them to cooperate on an unprecedented scale, to plan for the future, and to pass on their learnings to future generations. This was the spark that ignited the flame of progress, setting the stage for all the advancements that were to come. And so, in the heart of Africa, the first Homo sapiens took their breath. From Africa, Homo sapiens embarked on a journey that would take them to every corner of the globe. Around 70,000 years ago, our ancestors took their first steps out of their African cradle, driven by unknown factors. Some suggest changes in climate or the pursuit of game, while others propose a simple, innate human curiosity. Regardless of the reason, this marked the beginning of an epic journey, a great migration that would span millennia. The routes they took were as diverse as the people themselves. Some ventured north into the vast expanse of Eurasia. Others journeyed east, skirting the coasts and island hopping across the Indian Ocean. Yet others braved the harsh desert conditions of the Middle East, or trekked across the frozen land bridges of the Bering Strait. Each path was fraught with its own challenges, from the unforgiving cold of the Arctic to the scorching heat of the desert, from the dense jungles of Asia to the vast emptiness of the Australian outback. But it wasn't just the landscapes that posed challenges. On their travels, Homo sapiens encountered other hominid species, like the Neanderthals in Europe and the Denisovans in Asia. These meetings were not always peaceful, but they were significant. They resulted in cultural exchange, competition, conflict, and even interbreeding. This interaction shaped the evolution of our species and contributed to our genetic diversity. As they journeyed, Homo sapiens transformed the world around them. They hunted, gathered, and later farmed, altering ecosystems wherever they went. They created tools, built shelters, and developed complex social structures. They painted on cave walls, carved figurines, and told stories, leaving behind artifacts that give us glimpses into their lives. Thus, by overcoming diverse landscapes and climates, Homo sapiens became the first and only global species. They moved, adapted, and thrived, making this planet their home. And as they journeyed, they carried with them not just their belongings, but their dreams, their stories, their cultures, the very essence of what it means to be human. With the entire world at their feet, Homo sapiens began to build something unprecedented: civilizations. As the eons passed, the nomadic lifestyle of our ancestors began to change. Around 10,000 years ago, something extraordinary happened. The hunter-gatherers who had roamed the earth for hundreds of thousands of years began to settle down. They started to build permanent dwellings, and instead of pursuing their food, they learned to cultivate it. This was the agricultural revolution, a pivotal moment in human history that marked the dawn of civilization. In the fertile river valleys of Mesopotamia, the Nile, the Indus, and the Yellow River, these early humans began to sow the first seeds. They started to farm, to domesticate animals, and to build settlements. They learned to harness the power of the rivers for irrigation, and their harvest became so abundant that not everyone needed to farm. some people began to specialize in other skills like making pottery, weaving cloth, or crafting tools. This was a significant shift. For the first time in human history, there was a surplus of food, and this allowed for the specialization of labor. It also led to the rise of social hierarchies. As some people amassed more wealth than others, they gained power and status. This was the beginning of social inequality, a characteristic of civilization that persists to this day. But civilization also brought about the birth of culture. With more time to devote to pursuits other than survival, people began to create. They told stories, painted on walls, crafted beautiful objects, and composed music. They developed written language, recorded their history, and made sense of the world through religion and philosophy. So, while civilization came with its own set of challenges, it also brought about incredible advancements. It allowed humans to harness the power of the natural world, to create complex societies, and to develop rich cultures that have shaped the world we live in today. And so, the seeds of modern society were sown. Fast forward to today, and Homo sapiens have evolved in ways our ancestors could scarcely have imagined. The evolution of our species has been a journey marked by profound physical and cognitive changes. Over the millennia, our bodies have adapted to a variety of environments, from the harsh ice age tundra to the humid tropical rainforests. Our brains have grown in complexity, enabling us to think abstractly, create art, and build societies. Today, we are taller, live longer, and are less likely to succumb to the diseases that claimed our forefathers, thanks in part to advancements in medicine and nutrition. Yet it's not just our bodies that have evolved. Our minds have too. We've developed sophisticated languages, enabling us to communicate complex ideas and emotions. We've mastered the art of problem-solving and innovation, leading to a plethora of technological advancements. From the wheel to the smartphone, each invention has fundamentally altered our way of life and propelled us further along the path of evolution. But the story of human evolution doesn't end here. As we continue to advance technologically, we're entering uncharted territory. Genetic engineering, for instance, offers the tantalizing prospect of designing our own evolution. We could potentially eliminate genetic diseases, enhance physical and cognitive abilities, and even extend our lifespan. Artificial intelligence is another frontier that could significantly impact our evolution. By creating machines capable of learning and decision-making, we're not just reshaping our world, we're redefining what it means to be human. But these advancements also come with ethical dilemmas and uncertainties. How much should we tamper with our own nature? What does it mean to be human in a world where machines can think, learn, and even create? As we stand on the brink of a new era, one can only wonder, what will the next chapter in the story of Homo sapien evolution bring?